pushing the button
now.
Now, we've pushed the button. And welcome.
Honest, I have pushed the button.
Just push the button. Welcome to Ladies Wot Pod, episode 46. And we've gone really early, really so early, we're barely awake. After last night's wonderful shenanigans. What a joyous night down the gardens. But before we get there, best introduce ourselves. Because there may be some people joining for the first time. And if you are, very welcome, but where the hell have you been? Lovely to meet you all. So my name is Liz Saunders and I am half of Ladies Wot Pod, also chairman of the Saint Supporters Club and Chief Halo. I like to say I'm Chief Halo because I am. And general all-round rugby geek, and I live in South Northamptonshire. And you are?
I am Claire Jones. I'm in a village just north of Cambridge, and I'm normally seen wearing a red hat with a camera stuck to my face. And to the gentleman who came to see me just before half-time yesterday to say he loved the pod, thank you very much.
Huh. Thank you.
Yes,
that's
thank
nice.
you. And I hope you're still listening. Yes, it was lovely. And we'd had a good half of rugby, as we'll talk about in a minute. So, yes, and it was a bit busy last night, wasn't it?
It was a bit busy. Many ways. As you were saying about the gentleman who came to see you about the pod, lots of people say hello to me as if they know me. I don't think this is really weird. I'm just going, oh, hello. And I think, I don't know who you are. And I probably don't. Because they probably think that because they are. So all of you who say hello, come and tell me who you are and where you listen and what you do, because we love to know whether people
love to hear from people.
Walking.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
dog walking.
Yeah.
And we need more people at the gym, because one of our friends who used to go to the gym no longer goes to the gym because she thinks she can exercise at home. She isn't. I bet she isn't exercising at home at all. But so we used to get taken to the gym at least once a week, and it's not happening.
We felt so much better for it, didn't we?
It's beginning to show. So if you're at the gym, please let us know, just so that we know we're getting a workout. Dog walking.
And to everybody who's liking us on Facebook, that it's lovely that you do that. We actually need you to subscribe in Spotify, in YouTube. There's a little subscribe button just by Liz, I think. Look, my hand disappeared. Ooh. Just by Liz over there, if you're on YouTube. So please do give us a rating, subscribe. That makes all the difference. Them flipping algorithms do stuff. So, and to the gentleman who found us the other week saying, this is the rugby pod I never knew I needed.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Welcome.
Absolutely brilliant. That was
you do need a little fix of Claire and Liz every week.
And we're getting a bit. We didn't care about those things when we started. We just wanted somewhere to sound off. But now we're getting a bit serious about it. So come with us on the journey. Well, only a bit, in that we're asking you to subscribe and comment. Yes. But no, we are loving it. So, first things first, I had a really lovely surprise last night. So normally it is me conveying baked goods to other people, but somebody, Mr. Philip look, gave me the pikelet box, but full of shortbread. So we are going to do live. This is not going to make good Spotify, is it? It's all right, you watching on YouTube. You know what we're doing.
Well, we are actually on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, other podcasts.
Yes, other podcasts.
We are.
Who's not watching? We're about to take
the lovely Phil Gutteridge's. I'll take a little piece. Phil Gutteridge's shortbread. I have my lovely mug. I don't normally make as much noise as this. But for those on Spotify,
I have to finish my coffee. Oh, damn. That is very shortbready. That's very sugary. We'll be on a sugar rush now.
Oh. Yeah,
you could just carry on, Claire, while I eat these.
Okay, thanks. I'll just take a slurp of my coffee. So first off, well done to everybody who actually came last night. 14,500 people for a Premiership Rugby Cup game. Banging. Well done. And I actually think the reason they come is they know they're going to see high quality rugby. It's not like the bad old days where kids we got flung onto the pitch, and we all hope for the best.
Yeah,
you're going to see a high quality game, and that's partly down to Leicester. To be fair, it wasn't just a one-sided romp. Leicester had some. Yet another Chesham brother. I'm sure he's grown about a foot since the last time we saw it.
6'9", apparently.
Yeah, and he has to tuck his. I called them pajamas, but they were their, training outfits.
Well,
but his really did look like pajamas. I wanted to Photoshop a teddy bear into his arm.
Oh. Was that rather fetching teal colour thing they were wearing? It was a very
fetching teal colour, yes, yeah. But Adam Gums and I decided that rather than the leggings, they didn't really work. We preferred the shorts.
Yeah. Well,
so there you go. Just to make sure I get the right Chesham, it's Lewis as opposed to Ollie, of course, who's with England. Well, he's not with England. Get well soon, Ollie, because he's not the full shilling. So 14,500. You made a goodly noise, and actually the Tigers fans made a goodly noise as well.
They did.
But it's cracking that that we had so many people in the ground appreciating some really, really good rugby.
It was just a thing of joy. I mean, you carry on. She's just eating another mouthful of shortbread while I witter on about last night, because it was so exciting, and it was just, I was going to say, watching the next generation come through was joyous. They were playing, like, as I said on a WhatsApp group we're on, another band of mates just chucking the ball around with each other. It was just so much fun. But when you think, we're looking at George Hendy and Tom Litchfield and thinking, well, they're old heads now. They're 22 and 23 or something ridiculous. They're not even old.
Well, yeah, we said this last week, excuse me.
She started speaking too soon. She hadn't fully swallowed the shortbread. This could be a disaster.
Last night, he, of course, was one of the academy coaches, and said, you must be so chuffed because some of those lads were in your under-18s last...
Oh, excuse me 1 moment. The IT department has come in for his tasting of the shortbread.
Oh, right. Oh, should I summon my IT department, do you think?
Yeah, my IT department is standing there off camera. Don't waste it. He's bitten into it so it's fallen on the floor. That IT departments, they have no manners. So
I'm just sending a message.
Lovely, a bit louder.
Lovely.
Did you hear that?
No.
He's got a mouthful of shortbread, so get close to this microphone and say...
Nom, nom, nom.
Num, num, num was what he said there. Right, go away now. Thank you, darling.
No, don't go yet. Yeah, hold on.
It's gone now. It's gone now.
Oh, no.
It's IT, they're in and out like spirits.
So, okay, well, I've asked if Dr. Jones... the problem is with Dr. Jones is he never reads his text messages until about a day later, and he goes, yes. What? So we may yet see my IT department. So
back to last night.
If you've achieved one thing with this pod, you've caused chaos.
Again.
If you're not falling out of your chair. Did he fall out of his chair? We need to know.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, good. Well, he had plenty to cheer.
Plenty to cheer.
So the idea of the Premiership Rugby Cup is, of course, it gives a chance for those under 23, I think it is, to make up most of the squad and, run around a lot and play great rugby and. And from what I could see, the 4 matches that took place last night, most of the teams took it in the spirit. I think Exeter are so desperate for a win. Theirs looked quite a strong side.
Oh, did they? Down to Pirates.
Well, I think that young and up-and-coming Erin Painter are tired.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think they had a first choice. I think
We did
certainly
it.
2 of their front row were first choice ones. Yeah, there was a lot of and I can understand, given their situation, why they're doing what they're doing. I felt sorry for Cornish Pirates because,
Yeah.
so having 68 points put on wasn't a surprise given the team that Exeter put out. And Cornish are actually having quite a difficult season, unusually for them.
They are struggling a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, it's not like them. So yeah,
Cornish pasties. Did you? I was going to say Sarah referred to them as the Cornish pasties. No, pirates is what she said on Sky last night. The TNT last night, which I thought, well, yeah, we all do that, Sarah. Don't worry about it. You're hungry.
Excellent. So I've got the team sheet here. It's it was an interesting team, really interesting team. And I don't know if Mrs. Litchfield. We have to commend Mrs. Litchfield, don't we?
We do.
Anna Litchfield,
we do.
You're a total star. She took us literally at our word, where we were, thinking, what is this script about? Young teams. And she apparently
she worked out
the average age. That's just out of order. So she Anna, and she sent us her workings out. She went through every team that played last weekend, match day 23, and proved that Saints had the youngest team. And Exeter, by some margin, well over a year, 18 months youngest. And Exeter, unsurprisingly, didn't. In fact, they weren't even the second youngest. The oldest was Leicester. Well, there's a surprise.
Yes.
Young players need not apply. And it did rather tell last night, I thought. There were quite a few rusty moments.
Well, I think the other thing that told last night, and the difference that, and Dowse mentioned it in his interview afterwards, about you can see that our squad trains together. The academy boys come in and train with them, and it shows because they know each other. They're not looking at each other. It's happened at Saints before when academy players have been drafted in, and you can see everybody sort of going, well, who are you? Sorry, what's your name? And there's none of that. I mean, we've seen Johnny
Vyman, who
Thank you.
Tyler
not Weissmuller. He is not Tarzan.
Every back who new back who joined from the academy was called Johnny Vyman. Sorry, Billy Pascoe and co. The only one I could tell was different was Wraith Withiat, and that's thanks to your IT department who described him as ghosting, and that stuck with me. Yes, so Johnny, not helped by the fact that he didn't really hair at the time either. Johnny came on in the second half, and
we know he's been training with them since last season. So
well, he played in that Sale game, and he didn't look out of, Sir, I know the words to the Shoe Army song. Yep.
I mean, absolutely, and it shows. It shows that. I hate this use of "it's in our DNA" because it's getting grossly overused by everybody. But the way we play goes all the way through to academy intake, and it's not just about the way we play; it's about the mindset of it all, isn't it? And
to try stuff out. Yeah, you can try stuff out. That's what we're here to do. You can try stuff out. And yes, George Makepeace Cubitt, you can throw outrageous behind. Actually, I think Dr. Jones and I, one of our favourite moments was Archie bouncing backwards to then dance round.
Yes.
But that move, that's the move that I talked to you earlier, where Archie raced down the field from our half, and who was on his shoulder? A loose-head prop called Tariq Afar.
Yeah. And I mean, there were some gorgeous moments in that. One was watching George Hendy waiting for the high ball, just calm as you like. No, right, I'll take this, and then just going, huh, and this Dester, this tiger, hurtling past him, going, oh bother. botheration. I must look a bit of a buffoon now.
Because I missed him.
Bleeped. Yeah. And he really didn't move much because just, the calmness. I think it's the calmness in that team.
Yes, they didn't panic. They just got on with it.
Just played.
And can I say some of the senior players put in some pretty hard yards?
Yeah.
I mean, Angus Scott Young must have carried for miles. I mean, he was putting in he put in a very big shift. And of course, we have to mention our captain.
We do. Yeah. Yeah, you read it here first. We said when he got the Sgt Wilson award in the Sale game, didn't he? So
Chunya Munga was last night's captain, and he was brilliant, and congratulated by Douse at the end, and rightly so, because I thought he had, and that calmness stemmed from him.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it was all kicking off. I wonder who was involved in that. We didn't have Curtis on the pitch.
That would have been. May have been Henry, possibly.
That might be Henry.
Maybe.
Yes. Although I did feel it was a bit weird because it happened in front of you. One of the altercations was Luke Green being given a mouthful. You could see like.
Oh, that was highly entertaining. That was so the Leicester prop, who I think was just fed up. Really. Just wanted it to perhaps he was angling for a red card. I don't know. Possibly wanted it all to be over. I just started, so everybody's sort of getting there ready for the line out, and something was happening somewhere else. Somebody being treated, I think, and suddenly Luke Green's aware of this mad at him. He's from Leicester with a gum shield, so I mean that would be similar to what he said. And Luke Green goes, "I'm sorry, mate. Shut up." Or worse to that effect. And it all just went off a bit.
And he couldn't resist, could he? Couldn't resist.
The assistant ref is going, no, should have stepped in and said, "Children, just pack it in." But just watched it all fall apart big time. It's highly entertaining. Wouldn't be a Tigers Saints game.
It does get under people's skin even when he doesn't do anything. So, Mr. Wand, what a great name. Will Wand got upset when Henry scored. It's like
he got very upset, didn't he?
And then their lock, I think, what was his name? Tom Mance, who's just made it. So two of them have recently only made their debuts for Leicester. Decided to pick a fight with Henry. I mean, it's like, leave him alone.
But that was quite funny because they picked that fight with Henry after he scored, and George Hendy came piling in as like big brother, he lived my life, and Henry shot out, so he's there sort of back on the 22. Nothing to do with me, nothing to see here, nothing to do with me. And in that little altercation by us, started by the props, how very unusual. There's suddenly Henry is standing there laughing at them. Oh no, Henry. It's kind of understandable, really, but
So it was a feisty game. You can't say it didn't matter. It absolutely did. And unlike last season, I felt sorry for Douse last season because that fixture list for the Premiership Rugby Cup, we started on that really hot day in Ealing, and he had to put the kids out, basically.
Yes.
And kids, we had about nine 18-year-olds who had... I mean, I pointed out to Dr. Jones last night, the Academy have had basically the whole of the pre-season and the start of this season to train with the lads. So, they have had not a long time, but they've had, some quite intensive training. They hadn't had that when they played last September. They were literally thrown into the mixer, and you could tell it was really hard, and it was hard on several of the senior players because the likes of Sammy G had to try and corral his little tribe. It felt like having to go away again, go to Ealing, who were the favourites in the championship, which of course ultimately they won. I just felt a bit harsh. Whereas last night It was 2 even teams. It was a start to a competition at home. Who'd have thought?
How very unusual. Somebody must have made
Saints.
an error there.
They won't do that again.
Oh, sugar. I've put Saints at home for a start.
Damn,
I'm sorry. Sorry, it's too late now. It's gone out now.
As well. Second game's at home. Nottingham next week. So I think Daz really wants the kids and the lads who are on the fringes of the first 23, I'm going to say, to put their best foot forward and
they did.
And give it a lash. And they did. And absolutely they did. So do we want to draw out particular performances that we were?
Oh my goodness me, we certainly do. I mean, Tarek, obviously, he got the official man of the match, and there was just about anybody could have got it, to be fair. But Tarek, I mean, he was 9 carries. He's a prop.
There were significant carries. Yeah, there were significant carries that led to tries. You know. She's lost it. She's back.
No, you're back.
She's been on and off all morning, ladies and gentlemen.
My ears, honestly, dreadful. Yes. So
and the pink
Tarek,
hair. I like the pink hair.
I like the pink hair. I gave him a cuddle before the game.
Very good.
And he gets man of the match.
Yeah.
Gave him a cuddle before the other game. He scored a try. He's obviously, I'm going to become his lucky charm.
Lucky charm. Not. Yes, his mum and I think all his family were there last night. Because I took a photo at the end, and well played, Tarek. It was, but of course he can't be our Ladies Wot Pod man of the match.
No, he can't be.
No, because
so that's why I thought we'll get him out of the way first.
So I've already said well done to Angus Scott Young, because I think he got stuck in and showed the way forward. So that's really good. Henry was Henry. He's irrepressible. I mean, the energy that lad brings to the team.
Oh.
It's just something else. And by the opposition, it's the old thing. Opposition focus on him, it creates gaps elsewhere. And you can see that happening time and time. You can
see that. Finn Brown, I thought I kept mistaking him for Josh Kemeny. I just thought
They do have a similar look, yes.
Yeah, I thought he had an outstanding
the traditions of back rowers from Doncaster Night. Yeah. As I pointed out to Lizzie Goodchild. She didn't know that Sam Dickinson also joined us from Doncaster.
Of course
so
he
did,
and
played in the 2014 team. So Lizzie wasn't aware of that. So he's continuing a fine tradition. I thought he did well. Absolutely.
I thought he did
very, very well.
Very well. Very well.
In the line-out, carried well. So I think our back row looked very balanced, despite Henry's best efforts to bounce everywhere and anywhere. Really, really good. and sadly for Ruben, he's learning to tackle. He's learning to tackle.
Sorry, Ruben. Yeah,
Ruben, you're gonna have to up your game, love.
Your USP now is He's just going to have to be even more annoying than Henry.
Oh, that household must be interesting if they're still sharing the same house. Archie, your very favourite.
Oh, Archie is, I just thought he was so composed, so confident. Back to the Archie that Bristol game. That we saw what the coaches, what we've seen in him as well. He some fantastic breaks off the scrum. No, he's 19. He's going to make mistakes. We were saying this before we came on air. Mitch at 19, who is now arguably up there in the world's top 3 of scrum halves. At 19, he used to regularly, I would say, a brain fart a half. At least, where he wouldn't know what he was doing. Nobody would know what he was doing. He'd practically disappear up his own fundament, and everybody going, "What the hell did you do?" And they, would be slated in social media, of course, as that happens. But he had patches of brilliance, obviously, and was but Archie is just so composed. And seeing him working with George Makepeace Cubitt. Can you change your name? That's way too much of a mouthful.
GMC's known in the squad.
Yeah, exactly. Much easier. General Medical Council. Yeah, okay.
General Motors Corporation.
Anyway, so watching that partnership develop so quickly because they were in the England camp together as well, is a joy to behold. And I just think Archie it was lovely watching him play heads up rugby confidently, strongly, of course, because he's so much stronger even than that Bristol game last March or whenever it was. Absolutely lovely to see. And Henry, Archie, and then GMC, that is a unit to carry forward for the next 10 years, hopefully, if we can keep them all.
Under Vesti's tutelage, I can see GMC. You can see it already. He's learning loads.
See it already.
Yeah, you can see he's learning loads, and it's great.
His raw talent is so good there. You know, as little Thatched Austin was purring over him last night and saying he has the ability to tread water, which is, and it's right. And there was one, I think it was for possibly Thomas Litchfield's try, where he stood and let the tiger commit at him completely before offloading the ball at a perfect time. So one of their defenders was taken out and it went on, off it went, and he was just, some of his kicks a bit wayward, but hey ho.
But that'll come.
Yeah, absolutely come.
Absolutely come. Yeah, I mean, Finn Smith now is metronomic in what he does. But he's practiced, and Georgie's out there practicing with Jake Sharp. So, they'll put in the hard yards. I think the stroke of genius on the part of the coaches, which we weren't aware of until this week, is the move for Charlie Savala. Charlie joined us as a fly half. He's now moved to centre, and it's a stroke of genius. I thought Charlie was outstanding last night. Absolutely outstanding.
It looks as if that was always been his position. I felt it offered him much more freedom, much more latitude that suited him. I felt.
Yeah. But as Dr. Jones and I were discussing on the way home, there were moments when he forgot he wasn't playing fly half, as you would expect. Like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be here. I have to be over there, and I shouldn't be doing that. That's George. So there were moments, but he clearly was reveling, working with Mr. Dependable, working with GMC.
Yes.
It worked. So it's going to be interesting. I think this run of games is going to be really interesting, not only for the youngsters, real youngsters, the teenagers coming through. It's actually the coaches not being afraid to try stuff. Moving Ed Prowse to lock, moving Charlie Savala to centre. I think it's really creative on the part of the coaches to see how things. And if it doesn't work, well, nothing doesn't matter.
Nothing.
We've tried. We've shown. We're prepared to try stuff as well. And Charlie, he took his opportunity last night. Tom Seabrook, can I just say, get well soon, Tom. I didn't see what happened, but bless him, he has had a run of bad luck.
He doesn't need more, does
he? Went off for an HIA and we didn't see him again, to be replaced by James Ram, who was irrepressible, and he had to go off as well. So for injury. So we're going through let's go through wingers.
However, on winger news, we had our trialist guest player, the Fijian.
Yes, Mitali Vulaki-Japani. Actually, Pete Nuttall had it nailed. He had it nailed last night. He's good, isn't he?
Fiji Mitch.
Fiji Mitch, because when asked what his nickname was, Mitch, they all went, no. So he's now Fiji Mitch.
Fiji Mitch.
I thought Fiji Mitch was good.
I thought he was very good, but Matt, who sits in front of me, said, "What's his name?" I said, "I don't really know. It's a bit..." and he said, sounds like the episode of Friends where Joey was trying to learn French. So, Fiji Mitch, welcome. So let's hope he finds a niche. And again, hadn't realised this till we watched the game back, and they said, "Oh yes, he's come from Hull and Bradford Bulls Rugby League." Oh, that sounds a familiar pathway. I wonder why. Wonder why he's ended up with us then. Interesting one. So yes.
And you could see he was warming. I mean, he's only been there 5 minutes, and like many of the guys who come for a short period of time, they do enjoy the time that they're with us. So let's hope he goes well, because we seem to be going through a run of wingers again.
We do again.
And I don't know what. I don't know. So I have. Oh, actually. For those of you, I don't mind when you ask, ladies and gentlemen, which way are we playing? Because that's... I have my steady stream of which way are we playing, Claire, last night. What I can't do anything about is when it's the way you don't want. I can't influence the toss.
Well, my IT department's his gruntle goes missing when we're playing what he sees as the wrong way round. Despite me saying, "Look, Boydie, put that one to bed. There is no wrong way round. It is what it is." And this generation of players out there have never heard of it because Boydie put that one to bed completely. They do not care.
It's not Goldington Road.
It's not that much of a slope. So interesting, but
yes.
No,
I was going
to say
most put out last night. Well, that's not right.
Probably still banging on about the badge as well. But, yes. So to finish off with, I thought George Hendy played a blinder at fullback as well. He's just I
thought the front row combination of Luke Green, Craig Wright, and Tarek Afar.
Yeah, that's a mobile front row, isn't it? And young.
And Luke was having fun. Luke was having fun. Yeah, he our new tight head from San Diego Legion I think he's another London Irish. He was supposed to come to us, and then he didn't. And anyway, he's now with us, and he's settling in nicely, and he was having a lot of fun, and he was doing a lot of carrying as well. So between him and Tarek and Craig, they were doing.
We've seen them training. We've seen those props training to carry. It was one of the more frightening things I've seen in my life.
Yeah, and they're quite. They're gone are the days when a prop was made to pass the ball and had a panic attack. You know, that is part of what they have to do, and it's great.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Dependable.
Oh yeah. Well played, Tom Litchfield.
Well done, man. Well done. And as I say, he's one of the old men of the team now. One of the old men of the team.
Ridiculous. Never lets us down. Yeah. No. So super. There's joyous
game we haven't mentioned. Do you realise from the starting 15? And he actually had a really good game.
Gavin Thornbury.
You got it.
Yeah. Again,
he
he slotted in as if he's been with us forever. Absolutely amazing. I thought I was going to say you didn't notice him, which is kind of what you want from a second row.
Not something you can say of Will Spencer. You're always going to notice Will Spencer.
Well, bless him, he does look like a throwback to the 1980s somehow. I don't know what it is.
He put himself about when he came on.
He did.
He put himself about a bit. Nathan looks like his brother. So,
terrifyingly so. Yes,
terrifyingly so. Yes. Dr. Jones was saying that he thought that that Nathan and Curtis shared the same scrum cap.
We had that conversation. We think that's disgusting and hope that is not true. Yeah, hope they've got at least one each.
It's not true, Claire. And I went, thank God for that. Because what I was thinking is they both end up playing in the same game. Can you imagine?
No, we had that conversation. Disgusting. Yeah.
Yes. Horrible. Poor. Whichever one came second, and it's most likely. No, I'm not going to say because Nathan played really, really well.
He did.
Really well.
Played very well, and didn't look as sick with nerves as he looked before he took to the field for Bedford.
Yes, it's like they get into their stride, they realise they can do it, and on they go. And we have to thank Bedford again. That relationship with Bedford is doing us enormous benefits from Mikey Ray and the cruise dog. yet again, that relationship is bearing fruit for us, and I hope it bears fruit for Bedford in their trip to Ashton Gate. No, I'm not going. Everybody was asking me last night, are you going to Ashton Gate?
No.
Once a month
season
is enough. In fact, once a season is enough.
So coming on to the replacements, then let's do the front row replacements. So Manny,
can we have a new award?
What's that?
I think we'll only award it once. Smiliest player in the team. Ewan Baker.
Oh yes, Ewan is still somewhere on a happy cloud. I'm sure.
Yeah, his smile just lights up the place.
He
is the most lovely man, and he
lovely,
absolutely.
I had such a big hug from him.
Wrong corner, Ewan. Wrong corner. You were running towards me at one point, and he did refer to that when I talked to him. But yeah, well played, Ewan. Well played.
So proud of you, absolutely.
Yes.
Let's say we were laughing watching him score his try and being grown up about it. Yeah. That's okay. That's fine. Well, of course, once the final whistle went, we went into
like a
serious spotty dog bouncy mode, didn't we? It was like,
played very, very
fantastic.
well. We had so Nathan came on, did a cracking job. Looks remarkably like his brother. He even carries like his brother. It's
very much
strange. So. Manny, old man Manny came on.
Old man Manny, God, you've been around for so long, mate. I'm surprised.
Yeah, we're going to skip over you. You're not now. Yeah. And the biggest cheer was, of course, for one Sonny Tonga-Weir, who
biggest cheer for arguably the youngest player. I would imagine.
Yeah, I think he was the youngest of the group, but I may be wrong there. I think you're right. And yes. They did a shirt presentation in the changing room. I wasn't there beforehand. And they organised 6 different people to present shirts. And Sonny didn't know that they'd organised for his dad to do it. Yeah.
I know. I bet there was barely a dry eye in the house.
Well, yes, there were 2. Well, apparently there's a video. Lewis, the videographer, videoed it, and there are 2 who nearly go. And yeah, it was very emotional, but lovely, absolutely lovely that the Lizzie and Douse have worked out who should hand over each debutant's shirt,
That's
which
gorgeous.
I think was
that is gorgeous.
Really, really good. Curtis's speech is worth hearing, apparently.
Oh my, yes, good.
It apparently starts with "I followed your journey," to which Lizzie said to me, "Well, he's known him all his life." So
yes,
he's the
not had a lot of choice in that, Curtis. Really, have you? Lived in the same house for possibly about 18 years. Bless him.
But yes, he was very proud brother to receive it from his brother. So I'm really looking forward to the video, because I think that will be. It was a classy thing to do.
But Sonny coming on, and that scrum moved not a centimetre.
Not a centimetre. He was confident. I particularly liked it when he told Nathan Langdon where to stand. No, I'm here. You're over there. Fergs.
Yes. Fergs was so proud of himself last night, wasn't he?
I'm not surprised. As I say, I spoke to Charlie Reid in the changing room and said, you must be really pleased seeing what you're. And he went, yeah. No, I really am. And the news he has of the current under-18s who played yesterday, they played Harlequins and at Aylesbury and won.
Oh,
so
excellent.
they've started the way they mean to go on. So Charlie and his next set of charges are
on the way,
already out there. So congratulations to Hoppers and Mr. Reid, because the next crop did you proud last night. They really did. We mustn't forget the old man Josh Kemeny. Well done.
I was going to say, let's shall we mention? Now we've got to mention everybody having started on this train.
But
Josh Kemeny came on.
Secretly, we have a little soft spot for the other scrum half, Johnny Vyman. Johnny,
yes.
who I, much to Liz Tyler's amusement, while I couldn't recognise any of the backs in the summer when we were doing pre-season training, I was labelling every back from the academy as Johnny Vyman. Yeah, so sorry, Billy Pascoe and the others.
But we saw Johnny Vyman in one of his very early training sessions, didn't we? With the Saints, and who that? Oh, it's him, and he was. Started off like the first 5 minutes. Look at this. It's Courtney Laws. Oh my God. And then within about 10 minutes, he was in there, got stuck in and was looking like
doing what scrum halves need to do, being gobby, being, with an
this
arm
is where
out
I'm meant to be.
Yeah. And he played in that warm-up game against Sale Sharks in the spring, the friendly.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, looked very comfortable. So comfortable. He even told Daz he knew the words to the Shoe Army song, so let it. More of that shortly. So well done, Johnny. Came on, looked the part. Keep going, lad. Just keep going.
Josh Kemeny coming on and putting in a wonderful tackle on a tiger that, like, probably as little Thatch Dotter said, I think it's just rearranged his back for him. Perfectly legal and everything.
Some big hits going from both sides. There was no call to give him. That was an East Midlands Derby.
It was.
Of course, one of the early ones, wasn't one of the early ones where they made it was about, I think, 10 years after the very first one, where the supporters made cards announcing the death of, initially it was Saints Rugby, and then 2 weeks later it was Tigers Rugby. So we've had a reenactment of that early game. Graham, you can tell us if we've got it wrong, but I believe that's the case. So, and we haven't even done the cards this time.
No. It was. Of course, my IT department did point out that Tigers have a disadvantage, though, because for those of us of a certain age, brought up with a book that I don't think you can even call its title anymore, that the Tigers, if they run too fast, they turn into butter.
Oh, okay. Oh,
there is a story of a small child who climbs up a tree to escape from the tiger, and the tiger runs so fast round the tree, he turns into butter.
Oh,
yeah, and is used to fry pancakes. Do you know, being a child in the 60s was very bizarre. It's banned. In the 60s. It's banned for many reasons.
It
that
didn't
book
make it
now.
To where I was. Well, there you go.
No. I think you're a bit younger. I think it was sort of it was a shadow of our colonial past. Let's put it this way.
Okay, right.
But the entertaining thing is that tigers turn into butter when they run too fast.
Well, certainly something happened last night.
Yeah. Well, they weren't risking that, were they? Obviously, they were not risking running too fast.
We had a very young referee, didn't we? Harry Walbaum, who I'm sure I've seen do some of the PWR games and in the Championship.
Yes, yeah.
And he was helped by a gentleman called Adam Leal, who, as I mentioned to you earlier, must have been so glad not to see Alex Waller on the pitch. Alex,
the poor old Harry got smacked in the face by a ball from Charlie Savallo, which was entertaining.
Yes, and then realised, damn, I stood in the wrong place. There you go.
Yeah. And that was quite funny on the telly as well. They said, we've got stats for the referees' handling skills.
Which were poor.
Very poor.
Very poor.
But I thought they settled into the game because, as you say, the first 5, 10, 15 minutes was all a bit whistly and fussy and missing stuff. But then they did settle down and again, Chunya handled the referee delightfully well. I think I heard him asking very politely for something. Could you just check? I feel
yes.
If it's not too much trouble. If you mind awfully, yes. So
are we saying that our last night's captain wins the Sgt Wilson Award again?
I think he does. Again for the second time this fledgling season. He's
well done, Chunya. Hot work.
Yeah.
So I ran miles to do it because it's a long way to that big screen.
Yeah.
So who's won the Ladies Wot Pod? It can't be Tarek. We've already talked about that. He's already got his silver gone. You've got to pick one of the other 22.
Oh. I'm not going to give it to Henry because he's going to get it every week. He's just
he needs to become Finn Smith, hasn't he? Yes.
Yeah, and he's just you've got special mention every week. Ooh. So, right, I've got a short list. I'm down to a short list.
She's haggling, ladies and gentlemen. Go on then.
So, George Hendy, I thought he played so well. So, again, so composed in attack and defence. I mean, that holding up that try. So he's there. Archie. Obviously, he's going to be nominated every week by me, probably, when he plays. It's rapidly becoming... That's embarrassing. I'm sorry, Archie. That's really... I'll get control of myself. It's just... You remind me of Alfie. Charlie Savala, because I thought moving to centre and just playing like you've been there forever. And GMC is mine. And then I'm thinking, but Angus Scott Young.
That's where I was going to go. Yeah, I think Angus Scott Young definitely deserves a mention. I think the man who set the tempo of the game, who was Archie. Archie was where, and Chunya actually. And Chunya set the tempo of the game because he kept the tempo, he kept team moving quickly, and that, of course, fed into Archie moving around. And Archie kept his team with him. He didn't make decisions that his team couldn't help him with. His choice of next move was usually spot on. So he didn't make a break. We've seen our other two more older scrum halves go down blind alleys, and the team are going,
I have.
What are you going down there for?
Yes. What did you do that for?
Archie didn't do that. Although if he is depending on a loose head prop being on his shoulder every week when he makes a break, I think he might be pushing it. But Tarek was just on fire last night. He was,
don't you think it's that trust and confidence they have in each other that he knew somebody would be on his shoulder, and it doesn't matter who it is.
No,
it's going to be somebody.
It really doesn't. It doesn't matter whether it's a back, a forward, whoever. It's absolutely spot on. Yeah, but I think Archie set the tempo of last night's game. So she's got her way, evil way, ladies and gentlemen. Archie is the Ladies Wot Pod player of the match. Yes.
And I'd say, but it could have gone to anybody on that pitch, to be honest. But Archie, I think, and lovely to see. Lovely.
And it will be really interesting who they pick for next week's game against Nottingham, because I really do think that the coaches want to see, there's players we haven't seen. Obviously, I mean, it would have been lovely to see Toby Tame, but of course he's injured.
Yes.
Yeah, but Rafe Withiat, the IT department must be beside himself that he hasn't ghosted around the place.
Yeah.
So, Rafe, we need to see. It'd be interesting to see if some of the younger props like Ollie Scola get a run out. Ruben, will we play Ruben in the back row? At some of the games. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Now, here's a thought, and here's quite a worrying thought. Ruben and Henry in the same back row. What on earth would happen?
Whoever's the third member of that
something
back row
somewhere
counselling
just explode or something? I mean, would it just be?
It would have to be Angus Scott Young. I don't think you'd want to do that to Finn Brown, because that just wouldn't be fair.
No, it wouldn't be fair. Was it fair on Angus Scott Young?
That would be very interesting to see those two. Yeah, that would be. And of course, we've got the lights of Tommy Lockett, who is. Those of you who look at on my Instagram will have seen Mr. Lockett has posted my Instagram and his Instagram, Mr. Lockett is back in parts of training, which is good
2
to
weeks
see.
then. 2 weeks till
He's on
back
the
then.
mend, but I am going to say that because he was running around in front of my camera.
He's on one of the videos that Saints put out as well. So,
there you go. So he's in the 2-week camp.
He's been in the 2-week camp for about the past 6.
Very long 2 weeks. Very long 2 weeks. So we've got a number of players to come back. We've got a number of players we haven't seen yet. So it's going to be interesting who they put out against Nottingham. It was good to see Elliot. I didn't get a chance to see. Elliot was there yesterday. Elliot and Rory, of course, are with the Scotland squad. They're not allowed to play this week, I understand, because Scotland's test match is outside the test window.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
So therefore, they cannot be included, which is why there are no Premiership players in Scotland's Matchday 23.
Ah, that explains. That doesn't explain, though, whilst we're talking international selection, does not explain George Ford.
No, that doesn't explain George Ford. No, well, there's lots about that squad where we're all going, really? Hey? Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I'm not even going to mention it because it just is not worth mentioning what's going on. But that's happening this afternoon. So let's hope Fremo and Ferbs come through unscathed and
have a good time.
That's all really.
And the press,
because I think the All Blacks must.
You notice the press are now wetting themselves over George. We've gone from a scale where why have they picked him over? Freddie Stewart?
Yes. So now he's
a shoo-in for the Lions. It's like, really?
I was going to say, I would imagine the All Blacks are quaking in their boots at the thought.
Well, they're not exactly having a good time at the moment, are they?
Marcus Smith might have to go off and George Ford take over. That would be so scary. The man who has not played any rugby this season.
Anyway,
let's move on.
Let's not go there. No.
Let's talk about a quick mention of last night. The media, the comms team, Little Thatched Austin. Now, I know we give him a lot of stick, but he does know good rugby when it's in front of him, and he was purring over. Well, GMC, I think it may be taking the poster of Finn Smith down and putting one of GMC up because he was so impressed with him. And he was, and Ben Kay. I mean, they were both saying it doesn't matter who's on the pitch for Saints, they're playing the Saints way, and that's not happening with Leicester. And they're trying to make the excuse, Michael Chicker's only just taken, Sam Vesti's had them for 36 months. And I was thinking, no, the difference is they all train together.
Sonny Tongawi was playing in the under-18s last season, you lot.
Yeah.
Some of the other players. Give over.
But it's, to be fair, they were saying how good Saints are all the way through, and it's really showing. And it was a nice interview with Dowse. And it shows again, because Dowse was a player that they know. The interviews with him are very comfortable, and there's a bit of Mickey taking going on, which you don't see with any of the other DORs because they don't know them so well.
No, I don't think Van Graham knows how to crack a joke.
No. And Rob well-known comedian Rob Baxter,
yes.
Whereas they're very much more relaxed with our Dowse, so it was good. I thought the Little Thatch one.
As I say, I've been a bit. I can't think what busy with. I haven't published anything yet, but there will be photos coming up shortly.
The only thing, like death and taxes, the only certainty is that at some point, Little Thatched Austin will call an incident involving a Saints player. It's got to be a red card. It wasn't a red card. Nobody even thought it was a red card.
He's quite restrained because the woman behind me wanted. She was almost putting the black cap on, and Charlie would be heading to the nearest gibbet. So no.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
But yes, so and there is a clip of I think it's where George Hendy has scored a try and Henry Pollock is just bouncing around. And I said, I always want to keep that clip just so on days when I'm feeling not terribly happy, I just watch that and see so much happiness in one person. It's infectious. So anyway, worth watching back again and again. Any win over Tigers is worth watching back again and again. So, So let's see if Look East mention it at any point.
Of course they won't. I would say in the changing room, I think Douse won the award for nominating the most players to lead the Shoe Army song, where 7.
So more people leading than joining in.
Not quite, we were far off. Yes, and it was a bit crowded around the bin. But they all sang it with gusto. Alex Coles, what were you doing amongst the backs?
Yes.
Alex was back from, I imagine he's in London today because he'll be on England commercial duty. But he was back last night to support the lads and ended up on the back side of the changing room. Not often the view must be quite different for him.
Yes. I still think he went for a chat.
That his charges around the bin didn't know the words, so he was sort of trying to help them. But they were singing gusto, so I don't think there was any problem there.
And with that many rugby players round a bin smacking boots, they were lucky nobody got smacked in the head or on the hand, to be honest. When I saw that, I thought, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I did worry for Lewis who was filming it. I did, yeah. No, I did worry for him.
You've got props and a hooker there.
God,
anything could happen.
Luke Green could have taken it the wrong way and we were all off again. So, anyway, next week we're off to Nottingham. No, we're not. We're not.
We're at home to Nottingham.
We're back at home with Nottingham. Our trip is into the following week to the Butts Park Arena. Get your tickets, everybody. Going fast.
2 weeks, isn't it? It's 23rd.
Oh, because we get a week off. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We get a week off, which is good. And we need to sort what we're going to do. And we have an idea we need to make happen for the pod that week.
Yes, we do. Yes, we need to talk about that.
We have plans, ladies and gentlemen. So, Bedford, lots of people last night, including Fergs, were asking me, you're going to Ashton Gate tomorrow? No, I'm here. I am not going to Ashton Gate for the second time in a fortnight. That's just not kind. Once a year is enough. So good luck to the Bedford boys.
Yes, have fun.
Congratulations, actually, Bedford, on your firework display last night. It apparently went very well, so that's good. And they're heading southwest to Ashton Gate to play the Bears. So
good.
Yep.
Good luck to them. Lightning have got a weekend off.
Lightning have got a weekend off. Harry and Alfie are, you said, training tomorrow?
They're training tomorrow, yes. So we'll get them to do a roundup next week.
Get them to do a roundup. We need to hear the international man of mystery that is Alfie. We need words from him.
Asking a lot.
I'm sure his brother could persuade him. And I hear rumour, well, you told me, walking rugby?
Walking rugby, they had, was it 11 there? 11, 12 taking part because Callum stepped up and it was a really good session. People are, with more numbers, it's more enjoyable anyway. So anybody else, it's come along. It's a really jolly session, 6 till 7 of a Thursday evening. It's... it sounds pedestrian. Walking rugby, see what I did there, pedestrian. But it's actually, Sam Matavesi told you it was more exhausting than he expected. So it's quite a workout and it's very enjoyable. And I hope to get back to doing it some point. I've now booked in to see physio in the hope that I can be patched up.
And what a great physio you've chosen.
Yes. No, that's why I thought.
We're not mentioning him because he doesn't sponsor us,
No, I've had to wait till a week on Tuesday, I think it is, to go and see him. But I thought, no, I will hold out because he's managed to.
He's top-notch.
I'll talk to him about sponsorship. Knock something off my bill, and we'll mention your name. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So
Yes, we need to get you back playing. And we need to say farewell to a certain chief executive officer.
Yeah, we do. It was Mark Darbon's last game as CEO, although he's staying on the board of directors, which is really good. And Julia will be taking over on Monday, apparently. Well, I don't know who's in charge today and tomorrow. Let's hope nothing happens.
Party Central.
Could be. But yeah, just big thanks to Mark, really. I think he's left the club in a far better shape than he found it. I think he's managed to re-establish the clubness of the club without losing its commercial side, which is obviously necessary for its survival. He has steered us through some choppy waters and done exceptionally well, I have to say. I think can't please everybody.
It's absolutely taken the club. He wanted to take the club forward. I remember when he first joined, he must have wondered, what on earth was going on, because he had a very experienced coaching team, which the idea was they would take us forward, and it all unravelled, and so he had to re-ravel
very quickly.
And very quickly, and he made some really great choices, strategic choices around investing in young English talent, supplemented by the occasional
Aussie,
more experienced head. And it's borne fruit. We have a coaching team who clearly enjoy working together, and it there's the big names like your Phil Dowsons and your Sam Vesties and your Radders, but we mustn't forget the likes of Jake Sharp, James Craig, Jim Henry.
Yes.
These guys. I mean, Jim Henry's car must be in a groove between Bedford and Northampton.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons we get the continuity that we get is these guys put in lots of hard yards, and there's consistent coaching across the board, and it's their attention to detail. They work exceptionally well as a team. I applaud their thinking, and they're always thinking that that moving players to different positions because it's not quite working, or they need it. They think they can see an opportunity for a player to develop.
It's impressive.
And that's come from the top. That really has come from the top.
Yeah, everything comes from the top. You can judge a company by the way the receptionist greets you, I think, and it's sort of the way the players are.
And Nikki always greets you really nicely, doesn't she?
She does. She's lovely as Nikki, but it goes all the way down to all the players, the staff are relaxed and friendly on the whole. There's one or two grumpy buggers in some of the ground staff, but then I think that's different kettle of fish anyway. But on the whole,
there's a bloke in
really
a raincoat. Nice. I do wish he'd stop standing in front of me when the fireworks go off. It's bad enough that we have fireworks, but having a bloke in a raincoat with a pitchfork in front of me doesn't exactly make for great photography. Bless him. But he's concentrating on his pitch. So, but yeah, no. So thank you, Mark, for everything that you've done.
Yes.
We will be haunting you in St Andrews very shortly from the Himalayas.
Enjoy the Himalayas, and don't be surprised to see hello, Ladies Wot Pod on those Himalayas.
Yeah, and Julia Chapman is taking
welcome,
over.
Julia. Yeah,
looking forward to seeing where she takes the club next. I think we're in a safe pair of hands. And of course, she's known the club longer than Mark did, because she predates Mark. But we know that she has a very strong relationship with John White, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So, interesting times ahead.
Not too interesting, I hope.
Well, they always are. There's always something going on.
Good times.
Right, so I think we're done, aren't we?
One quick plea about anybody who fancies being a halo.
Oh,
Anybody who's
absolutely.
seen us? We were a bit short on the halos yesterday. I think it being half term, etc. It was just Dr. T and I wandering halos, and we helped lots of people, and it is immense fun. Talk to any of the halos if you're not sure. If you like just chatting to random people, accosting random people and chatting to them, it's the job for you. If you don't, obviously it isn't,
And it does make
fine.
a difference. It does make a difference to people. I mean, people like being greeted by the club. We know it makes a difference. So if you like chatting to your, fellow rugby supporters, people arriving at the ground, people are new to the Gardens and need a little bit of help.
You meet some awesome people. Absolutely lovely people. It's great fun.
Dr. Jones absolutely loves it. There's always a tale to tell when he's been a halo.
Like the couple that were stalking us last night.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah. They kept cropping up all over the place, getting slightly more inebriated every time we met them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and there were Vikings. There were Vikings.
Dr. Jones, frankly, shocking. Yes, and they had horns on their helmets, so they weren't really Vikings, because real Vikings didn't have horns on their helmets. Anyway, yes, but I noticed you were being stalked again. Who were they? They were sat in the south stand.
North Walsham Vikings.
Oh.
Got it on their backs, some of them.
So they're Tiger supporters. That's what you're telling me.
Well, they could well have been. I don't know. Hopefully not by the end of it.
They were in
they would have been for Norfolk, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they were in amongst a group of Tiger supporters.
Yeah, from Norfolk. They were probably
the
young
family. To your defence to fend them off. Seriously, I don't know.
Well, I had a photograph taken with them.
I know, you sent me it. I was shocked.
Yeah, and what else? We sent in our own selfie to go on the big screen. I don't know if it made it.
I must admit, I wasn't really watching the big screen.
Ian Winton made it.
Well, yes.
But
I always noticed that Mr. Winton's Guinness is almost gone by the time he gets to me. Now, I sit quite close to the entrance to the ground. So, there's a man who's very keen to drink his Guinness.
Oh, he's got all the way round by the time he gets to you.
Oh, right. Oh, so I'm last on the list. Oh, charming.
Well, no, I'm not saying you're last on the list, but because he sits up there, doesn't he? So he's coming in the village. He's probably done about his third Guinness by the time he gets to you.
Yeah. Well, even so, it's not that far.
Well, it is when you have to stop and chat to everybody.
This is true. He does do a lot of chatting, does Mr. Winton? He likes a natter.
We love him for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yes, so go well, all those with international call-ups.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing who is going to turn out against Nottingham.
And it's of course it's the moving wreath laying ceremony next Saturday.
Yes, remembrance.
Jeff is coming out of retirement to do his bit. We'll see if we can get through without any of us crying. Absolutely no hope that is not going to happen. I will be crying.
It will be my busiest weekend of the year, of course, given my day job. So I have events on Friday, Saturday, and Monday. I only get Sunday off, which is a bit odd. But anyway.
That's a bit bizarre, given that it's Remembrance Sunday. But anyway, right, going now. Lovely. Thanks for the shortbread, Mr. Guttridge. And they've got loads to eat. I might have some more now. We will see you all. Speak to you all next week. Have fun. Bye.
That was episode 46 of the Ladies Wot Pod. Where's my mouse? My mouse has gone to sleep. Come on, mouse, you can do it.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, we've had mice. We've had dreadful mice.
Have you? Oh no! I haven't pushed the button, by the way. This is still being recorded, so I think we.
Oh, good. I'll just update you on the mouse. We've relocated 7 mice to a lay-by several miles away, and 1 dead one. Yeah. In our roof, came in our roof. They've eaten you have that thing between the tiles and they've eaten through that. So we've got to work out how we're going to replace bits of that. And it's just a bloody things. So because the IT department is humane and nice, he uses these nice traps but I insist we put poison down as well. So some of them have died somewhere else. One of them died in one of these traps, and we've relocated, I think, 7 to a lay-by between us, quite a long way from us. So yeah, a long way from us, about 5 miles away.
Joys of living
from
in
us.
the country.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, has your mouse woken up now? So can we stop my witterings about my rodent infestation?
Yes,
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was
Have a lovely
episode
weekend, and
46.
we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.